I want to create a legacy of fellowship with all of you and in the future with your children. And I want to build a community. I don't know where yet. We've talked about the villages in Florida. We've talked about Arizona. But I want to create a real community of people like us, people who understand how to manage financial risk and who genuinely want to be a part of a great and global community of people who believe in freedom and free speech and respect for their neighbors. So I hope that you'll listen up to what Jared has to say, and I hope that you will think about whether or not you'll join me in this effort. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Porter. So I would like to invite up a couple of the fellowship members to join me up on stage. So anybody that would be interested. We wanted to give you a sense for what the community's like, and I wanted you to hear from some of the folks who joined us. The project was launched a year ago, and we have now 28 so members, and it's been an amazing time. We just got back from a trip to Croatia. We had a fantastic time going to Croatia and Montenegro, and Joel Littman from Altimetry was our guru on the trip. He was there and talking about his latest research, and we had just a fantastic time. But the reason that I wanted you guys to hear firsthand, I wanted you to see, kind of what it's like for everyone to. These are the folks who have already joined, and I just wanted you to hear from them kind of what their thoughts were and why they joined. So I'm going to pose that question. I'll just grab a seat here. So anybody can feel free to answer, but if anybody has something that they would like to say, if you could, just let us know, why did you join the fellowship? Anybody? Laura?
Well, it's kind of, is this good? Okay. It's kind of in the name. For me, it's not just, the travel is great. We've done some great trips. And I don't know if you noticed, in the video, Porter was wearing this exact same vest, because this is something that we all got on our first trip. But it's not just that. It's that, I can go on trips, but what I like especially about these is that we go on trips and it's like, oh, there's Ken and Nelson and I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the stranger. No, David.
He's somebody that we haven't made friends with yet. And then there's David and Mary and Bruce. Okay, and I'm Laura. I'm definitely an introvert. I'm talking, so you don't believe this, but I'm actually a little shy. So even when I go on trips, I like that there are people that I can connect with again. Mm-hmm. And like here, we walk in, it's like, hey, like I just did. And then everything Porter said about, it's about community, it's about shared values, and it's friendship. And I really like it, and this is why I did it.
Anyone else want to?
I'll add in. So I looked at it from both a tangible and intangible aspect. So the tangible, there's a lot of financial benefits. One of the things I was considering is joining SAM. And if you join SAM, you get a lower discounted rate in terms of the percentage. It's 0.75% versus 1.25%. So that was a big savings. You get 5 newsletters within the MarketWise Porter family of Mark Chaikin and that kind of thing, and which is great also. So that almost pays for itself on an annual basis. But then the real benefit, I think, is the intangibles, and that is the network of people, like-minded thinking. I had an investment, just to give you an example, just last week I had an investment idea come across my computer, Ranchland Capital Partners. Looks interesting. I don't know anything about ranchlands, but guess what? Tom Mitchell is a 5th-generational rancher, and so I shoot him an email and say, hey, Tom, do you know anything about this, and what do you think about it? And he, within a couple of hours, he shot an email back to me giving me his thoughts on it. So that kind of connection and network, I think, is huge, and you can't really replace it. And then on top of that, we have great trips. So there's and a lot of nice toys and gifts, as you had mentioned. So overall, And I guess the last thing I would point out is every trip, everyone at Porter & Co., at the Fellowship, they treat you like family. I mean, Jared's driving me in his car to the BMW Championship and meeting his son. It's great.
And Melody is fabulous.
Yeah, Melody's outstanding. Yeah.
Full disclosure, Melody's my wife. It's a family. It is kind of like a family, and you know, like I love hanging out with you guys. It's been great to get to know you. Did you want to say something, Mary?
Oh, I was just going to add.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I haven't had Jared driving me anywhere, but
Hey, the night's young.
the night is young. I just want to piggyback on the fact that the fellowship, we all live in cities where we go to this club and that and this dinner party. And like Porter was talking about gold or Bitcoin, and people look at you. But this group are like-minded. They have a collective goal. They're intentional about growing their awareness and their wealth and sharing it with other people in the community, but learning from each other, which makes it a fascinating group to be a part of. So it's awesome. Consider joining.
I'm going to add something. So I'm going to add in terms of the trips. So, Napa Valley, we go to Napa Valley. The highlight for me was being able to have dinner with the CEO of Opus One. What a fabulous guy. What a fabulous event. Great time. The team just got back from Croatia. I unfortunately couldn't go there, but Joel Lippman's there with him in Croatia, so he's sharing his personal thoughts. The group gets to know Joel a little bit better. What a great deal. We come to the BMW Classic just here a couple of weeks ago. Highlight there, I got to play golf with Porter. You know, he's not as good as I am, but it was a lot of fun to play with Porter. What a great time to get to know him, get to have fun. And each one of these events, somebody, who's very important at Stansberry or a Porter attends the events with us, and you get a chance to get to know them and get to understand a little bit better and a little bit greater detail some of their great suggestions. And then the other thing is everybody that I've had the pleasure of traveling with here has been able to help me in one way or another. Everybody's got just this huge, unbelievable background and huge success story that they're able to share and to help you do things that you want to do to enhance your wealth. And then, as Porter said, we're pretty much like-minded. The fun we have is unbelievable. I did something for the first time in my life that I never, ever, ever thought I would do. It was after quite a few drinks, but I did karaoke with a bunch of these gentlemen up here. And let me tell you, I don't know if there were any of the ladies present, but anyway, there was a bunch of gentlemen here that did karaoke in the wee hours of the morning, and I made a complete fool out of myself. So anyway, we do have a lot of fun, and and learn a lot.
I just also wanted to mention that in addition to all the benefits you've heard, besides the financial benefits and the benefits of being in the fellowship, besides the phenomenal, exceptional travel experiences that we've all experienced, and a lot of these are once-in-a-lifetime type things that really end up in our memories and cherish. But also, what's more important is the camaraderie and the people that we end up spending time with. It is an unbelievable, like-minded group of people that come from a very diverse background, that every time I get together with them, I learn something. And I'm at a point in my life where there's nothing better than learning something new.
So I joined Atlas 400 back in 2018, and I went on a bunch of trips with Porter. And, Porter was the lifeblood of the club. And when he wrote the piece last year to join Fellowship, I jumped on it immediately. The trips are amazing, places all over the world, and there's nothing that I've ever come across that's quite like this. And the friends that I've made are just priceless.
Well, it's really interesting, too. So Dave Lubunsky's a developer, and Mary had some property, and we get into Napa. This is like, no one had really met. This is the first trip. The club had just launched and we're on this shuttle, and Mary's talking about needing, what was the term? The lawyer,
Oh, yeah.
you needed, it was like a Nicaraguan lawyer. I forget the name of the term.
A Spanish word for like a notaire, but it's a high-level one. Yeah.
So she needed this, she wanted to sell this property, and literally Dave was like, hold on, I might be interested in buying this property. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, if we have, like, that's the power of like a network effect. Now, it didn't end up going through. She ended up selling the property separately. But I thought that was kind of interesting, the opportunities that are opening up when you have very successful people. And again, very like-minded people. Not that everybody shares all the same beliefs at all, but everyone, the trips are just, they're magical. They're fun. We all get along. And, you know, we travel. You probably have seen the video that I did with Porter where we sat down and talked about this, but we really travel in style. Everything is, it's so nice to be able to just, you show up and everything is kind of planned out for you. There's no stress. Everything is taken care of. If there's anything wrong in the room, you don't have to say anything. Like Roger's room was too hot, and he complained to me. You know, not even complained. He just said, "Man, last night I didn't sleep so well." And I was like, "Oh, you know, why not?" Roger likes sleep. He's a night owl. And does not like to get up early in the morning. But he was like, oh, my room is too hot. And he's so polite. He did not want to say anything. So we actually had a gentleman on the trip who was organizing it. He went in, spoke to the hotel, and boom, next thing you know, it was 58 degrees in his room. And maybe had trouble sleeping because it was too cold. But, and it's just having that experience. And, at the point of your lives where you can afford to spend money, there was a saying on this last trip that if you don't spend the money, your kids are going to spend it for you. So think about that. It's obviously, Bruce, did you want to talk about that? I was going to let you finish as well. If you have that, or I was going to ask another question.
Go ahead and ask the other question.
Okay.
They basically say the same thing, I believe.
Bruce, by the way, led us in karaoke. He's actually got a pretty talented voice, which was, he sang probably 9 out of the 10 songs, and then Ken jumped in. I jumped in once, but Dave actually got a pretty good voice too. But so it's not cheap to join this, but what do you think about it that makes it worth it?
What do you think? What?
Well, is it worth it? It's not. It's not inexpensive to join this.
It's worth it. It's like you say, you can't take it with you. And one thing I really truly enjoy. The main reason I joined is because I wanted to be with folks that earned and worked to become successful. And I used to read Forbes magazine as a young man, and I loved reading those articles where the people started from nothing and how they did it. And these are real life examples of it. I get to meet every day when we go on these trips and talk about all the fun things they've done and the different industries they're in and and what they did differently. And it's just exciting just to hear the stories. And then, we really truly do think alike. And another thing I like, honestly, is that, my wife doesn't get too much involved into the financial stuff, but she loves the trips. And she enjoys the company because we're all like-minded. And like you say, everything is planned out for us. We pretty much just show up and we just naturally start talking to each other. So it's definitely worth it. And also, the trips are always better than anything you can plan on your own.
Yeah, so that's something that's interesting too. We get some, a lot of planning goes into these things, a lot of planning. But because we have a pretty nice group and we have that kind of buying power and we are traveling the way that we're traveling, we can do some pretty exciting things. So in Montenegro, or in Croatia, this past trip, we had the most amazing restaurant experience. It's not even a restaurant. The place doesn't have a name. They literally said, we don't have a name. We're not on any map. And if they were, they would win a Michelin. This place was absolutely stunning, but the views were spectacular. It was in an olive grove overlooking the Adriatic Sea. We got lucky. The weather was perfect. There was an amazing sunset. The entire sky turned orange. And no one who goes to Croatia has ever heard of this place because it literally doesn't have a name. There's no name. It's some wealthy guy that owns this property, and he has a full-time chef, and he has a full-time kitchen set up there, and they do private events. The only way we knew it is because we had planned through an organizer who had experience, who knew this guy, who lived in Croatia, and that's how we got that. And you can't get those things on your own. It's one of those things where it's so frustrating. You go to some place and you go out to eat 5 times, and then you find out that you didn't go to the one restaurant that everybody said you should have gone to. And we try to take care of that. So interesting point there. What are you guys excited about in terms of the future of the club? Anything in particular? Any specific trips that we have coming up?
Argentina for me.
Argentina, popular Argentina.
I would like to go to Argentina, but the one that I have definitely signed up for already is Iceland in the spring, when there's a good chance we'll see the Northern Lights.
Yes, so Iceland in the spring. We have Mason Sexton. He was over here. Yep, Mason is going to be joining us on that trip. We're going across the solstice or equinox. That was the restaurant, by the way. Fantastic food. And they had, we're going to hopefully see the Northern Lights. It's the best chance all year long to see the Northern Lights in Iceland. We actually have a couple spots left on that trip, but it is a fantastic trip. And yes, we have Argentina. We are looking at Argentina in November. We also have a trip to Bill Bonner's Chateau de Courte de Mer, which is a fantastic chateau. One of his chateaus, the other one being in Argentina, which who knows, maybe we'll get to that one as well. But this one in France, in Courte de Mer, outside of Paris. We're going to go to Paris and go up to the chateau for a couple days. And I haven't asked him yet, but Peter Schleiger, I think, is going to join us on that trip since he lives in Belgium. So hopefully he'll slide over from Belgium and meet us there. And I tried to get Bill Bonner to do it, but he says he's too introverted and maybe would stop by in Paris for drinks. So we'll see. No promises. But it's going to be something like that. And these kinds of trips are fantastic.
I'm looking forward. We're going skiing out in Utah in January, I think.
Yep, late January.
Deer Valley.
Deer Valley.
Deer Valley. So that should be a great trip. And then definitely going to France and Argentina. So it's a really good schedule for the year. Yep. Should go back to Napa too, probably.
Yeah.
For sure, Napa. But clearly France sounds fabulous, as well as Argentina, and also Santa Fe's on the horizon as another site. But I just also want to stress something that Jared said, and that is all of us have gone on vacation, all of us have run into problems with trips. And we've had nobody really to fall back on except for our own frustrations. And this is truly stress-free traveling. There are people that are on the trip with us that basically take care of everything, any problems. They just make everything seem so seamless that once you've gone on one of these trips, you never want to travel any other way.
And actually, this is coming from Nelson, who was on a flight to the Bahamas for one of these trips. The plane started its descent and then had to pull up at the last minute because the runway was too wet. And then they tried it again, same thing. He's watching, they're watching it land, and then they said, hey, hang on, sorry, we're not going to be able to land. We're going to have to turn around. And then instead of going back to there, they went to Fort Lauderdale. And then I believe the pilot got off shaken.
Well, actually, they didn't land in Fort Lauderdale. They actually did not land in Fort Lauderdale. They ended up going to Miami and putting us up in Miami overnight and then flying us out the next morning.
It was an unfortunate situation, and these things happen. So,
And we were out on the boat when he and Val came, and it's like, oh, we'll just pick him up.
all right, any final remarks to anybody that thinking about this and saying, hey, I travel on my own, I have plenty of friends? What would you say to that?
You don't have friends, though, that have that are part of this organization to begin with. And darn few of your friends probably can talk to each other about financial things as well as we can with each other.
I talked about being an introvert. I don't have a lot of friends. And the ones I do have, dear as they are, really can't do the kind of trips that we're doing. So, for a lot of traveling I've done, I've gone alone, which is not as much fun as, going and seeing people that you already know.
So I will just add one final point too. And if you guys are out there and you're thinking, I don't know if this is for me, If you are the kind of person that loves to talk about stocks, just loves it, loves talking about it, maybe your spouse doesn't care about it, maybe no, hang out with other people. I know many of you have probably met lots of friends at these conferences, this one and the other one in Vegas. And you've seen a lot of the same faces, but maybe consider traveling with them. You'll be surprised, I think, at how easy and fun it can be. So, guys, thank you for joining me up here.
Thank you very much.